the Grand Harbour, Valletta, Malta, and the start of the Middle Sea race, 600 miles around Sicily. Andy and his two professional crew, all very experienced, were to take an amateur crew of 7 Russian charterers, 2 of whom had never sailed before and none of whom had raced offshore, on what was predicted to be a light wind race. And finishing within the 7-day deadline was going to be a big challenge.
The start was good. We had a nice position, and the rest of the fleet were kind enough to leave a little hole for us. So we were able to drop in on the pin without barging.
The course starts in Valletta before heading north to Sicily, up to and through the Straits of Messina, before popping out onwards to the volcanic island of Stromboli. Then west along the coast of Sicily to the Aegean Islands, south to Pantellaria, onto Lampedusa, before reaching east to the Camino Channel, and then along the Maltese coast to finish at Marsamxett Harbour. Andy continues to direct and coach the crew, helming all the while.
You've got to come down a bit here, guys. So ease a bit of main out, hold jib, and then main in. Stand by to ease main out. Okay, guy back. Let's go. Well done, guys. A lot of bad wind there, that was not bad. So are we ready to drop the spinnaker? Okay, ready? Okay. Pull it in, guys, ready for main in. Let it go, Andre. One hand, please. We're on a very fine reach heading over towards the corner of Sicily. There are quite a lot of boats around us. The bigger, faster boats, which started last, are slowly coming through, and we are already beginning to overtake some of the smaller boats that started before us.
Okay guys, so Eugene and Merritt, why don't you jump onto the mast?
As the wind began to drop, we changed to a larger headsail, which would keep us moving through the lighter winds. Maintaining boat speed was all important. There was a deadline to beat.
We're just approaching the Messina Strait, which is just between Sicily and Italy, and we're all trying to make our way up here in really light airs. It's quite tricky to keep the boat going with any sort of speed, and we just had to do a tack because we got headed, which means that the wind suddenly changed direction, causing us to bear away and not maintain a decent course. So to get around that, we tacked the boat, passed the bow of the boat through the wind, and onto our new course. And it's looking like we're actually laying the next waypoint, which we're quite pleased about. And the guys did a really good job with the tack. It's quite difficult in the dark, as you can imagine, when you can't see particularly well what's going on with all the sheets and stuff. But very happy with everyone's performance, and so hopefully we can start gaining some ground on some more boats. 2 turns on the winch. Ready? Go.
Now the wind went really light as forecast, making progress up the coast very slow. Serious focus was needed to keep the boat moving. This was now beginning to be a real test for the relatively inexperienced crew. Light wind sailing is often harder than heavy weather, and crews can get easily bored.
We're on port jibe, heading back in towards Sicily before we jibe back towards the Messina Strait, which hopefully we'll be able to do just in one jibe. The reason why we have to come back in is because we spotted a little bit more wind closer inshore towards Sicily, and we've noticed some of the other boats being able to make a little bit better progress.
Trip. Trip.
Very good, well done guys. Now I did.
For a while, the tidal current was against us, making forward progress through the narrow straits very slow.
Nikolai, can you push the boom backwards?
Ghosting through the Straits of Messina required constant jibing. Not an easy manoeuvre for a crew with little night sailing experience. Come dawn, the wind remained very light and crew morale was definitely at a low ebb. Also, were we going to finish within the cut-off time? The spinnaker was set again, but progress in the light airs was slow. It seemed we would never reach Stromboli, the northernmost mark of the course, as we were only doing 1.3 knots of boat speed in 1.7 knots of wind. So reluctantly, the Russian charterers decided to retire, as it was unlikely we would finish before the deadline.